Hey guys! As you can see, I'm trans. So stop calling me man in the comments, it's fucking annoying. The first thing that you see when you go on my channel is Axel Fulbler. The second thing, she, her, so please respect that. Some time ago, I bought this little thing. It's a remote numpad, and no, I'm not sponsored, and I wouldn't be by this piece of shit product. Because it fell just a little bit. Like, what doesn't fall? How many times have you dropped your phone? Some people more than others, but like, it falls. That happens. But now I can't, like, put this keycap back at all. What? Initially, I wanted to actually use this as a numpad to, like, put in numbers and stuff. But essentially, just I wonder what. Oh, this should work. So listen to the sound. This is pretty horrendous. I mean, it's not as bad on the wall, I guess, but on the table, it was just so bad. Like, oh my god. So I tried to return it, and for some reason that wasn't an option. Oh well, so now it's this like remote control thing that I use to do stuff with my computer. Currently, it doesn't do much, but if I press the dot, it plays music. So let's make it not as loud, and we can also skip tracks, and also I can play sound effects here. Yeah, at the end of the video, I'm gonna show off how I do that in AutoHotkey and specifics that you might need to know to make this work. It's not too difficult, but some specifics still. So, room tour, the title of the video, I think. By the way, this is going to be edited. As in, well, first this IRL part of the video, and then the AutoHotkey part of the video. How do I do that? Currently, I imagine that I do not install like DaVinci Resolve and so on, and I instead use fucking FFmpeg. I refuse to edit, this is why I pause for all purposes. So, here I have my makeup, and a bunch of like stuff relating to that. By the way, about makeup, my best friend recently started a channel where she makes like cute atmospheric videos where she does makeup. So I'm gonna leave a link to her channel in the description. So let's turn. I have a cool door. I mean, you would probably say that this is just an average door. Alisa, what are you talking about? But I used to have a really shitty one. So I'm actually... Oh, and floor as well, which I love. I kind of recently moved. Adorable, isn't it? My toys, my other toys are in a different place. I do not have an OnlyFans yet. Keep waiting, I guess. The trans flag, which is funny enough, the reason that I discovered that I'm trans, I also used to have the bisexual flag. Well, bisexual flag here, trans flag was here, and gay flag was here. And at that point, I just bought the trans flag because it looks cool and is the most beautiful LGBT flag. Girl, okay, keep telling lies to yourself, goddamn. So I removed those two because, well, let's just keep this one because it's the most beautiful. And I was like, hold up, that is so sus, like, no way you're cis after saying that, and turns out I wasn't. Now, why do I not have a bed frame? Because this is just two mattresses. Well, I used to, like, a day ago, but I am unfortunately so tall that my legs were, like, hitting this side that used to be here. So I just deconstructed it. It was annoying to me, so now I just don't have a bed frame. This is like my everything station. I have the wall meta. Everything is on the wall. Like, if you look around my room, I have quite a lot of stuff that's on my walls. Used to be more, like way more. So here's the table that I today moved here with a bunch of stuff. Usually this is very much unwashed. I do not wash my dishes often at all. I'm very bad at that. This is my whiteboard. This is stuff about C#, and these are the tasks that I want to do, or advanced, basically, like advanced YouTube for the phone, but the new version that actually works, recommended by WEW on the Other Hotkey Discord, and Animan. An interest, a thing for Spotify, thumbnail auto delete. Basically, whenever I paste my thumbnail onto YouTube Studio, for that file to be deleted. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff that I have. Unfortunately, I was taught to be a man, so now I, for some reason, really like putting nails in stuff. It's just the funnest thing to me for some reason. So yeah, I have that. A bunch of other containers. I do not do drugs. So this syringe, that's what it's called in English. I have an interesting use to it because hold up. I vape. And sometimes the, like, what this thing is, not sure what it is, it gets too old, but the e-liquid inside of it isn't. So I can use that syringe to move this liquid into another, this thing, whatever it's called, I don't fucking know. Yeah, this is my cool chair, this is my not cool chair. It's very old and bitten a lot by my cats. This is my cork board, I think it's called. So here I have my overall tasks that I want to do. Here are my video ideas. Yeah, I mean, like, look at them. So I want to do YouTube DLP, GHCLI for Linux. Not quite sure what this video will be, but yeah. Linker, JSON, some stuff for C#, some like classes stuff, kinda classes stuff. Closures aren't really classes stuff, but yeah. And my entire setup. I might stream that. I would like streaming actually in the future. I probably will. Here are the things that I want to remember, like hotkeys in VS Code that I recently made, and I should make a video on that as well. Cool word that I recently learned. It doesn't actually mean trans, surprisingly, but kind of looks like that. Another hotkey. And these are all the things that I want to buy. If you saw that, you saw that. Okay, is that it? Oh yeah, my clothes. Yeah, that seems about it. So, see you in the next section. Bye! Hey guys, hello again. In this section, and unfunny story, the following day after recording the first part, I got sick, so here I am basically stuck, not being able to record videos because I'm feeling like shit. But I'm sick and tired of it, so I still want to. So I'm actually going to show off and explain some specifics about using a numpad as something. So let's go to numpad remote. There are a few hotkeys that I have here, and that's, well, pretty much all that you need to do. Just create hotkeys that do your actions. And in the future, I'm actually going to add more and maybe change them and so on. But there's an interesting thing about like external numpads. The one that I bought costs like a lot, 3,500 rubles, which is like $50, which is crazy because it's so expensive. Yet when I press enter, it actually just sends the key enter. And the thing is, there is such a key as numpad enter. Your good usual numpad will differentiate between them, your normal enter and your numpad enter, or at least it's supposed to. So here's the first issue. Some keys on your numpad will be just like normal keys, and therefore you won't be able to set one thing on the numpad key and another, or rather nothing, on your normal key. Like, obviously I don't want to set a hotkey to enter because I use it. I would to numpad enter though, because I don't. So keep that in mind. And how do you do that? Well, you have some script running, like your usual normal script. You then press Ctrl K, and to be able to do that, you need to I guess I don't specify it here, right? But essentially you can do key history 0. So you have to make sure that this is not in your script, because in that case the history of your keys that you're pressing is not going to be there. So you open this window after you pressed Ctrl K, and then you can press the keys on the numpad to figure out what actual keys they produce. And that way you can figure out whether it's the correct numpad key or just a false one because the, I guess, hardware producers were shit at their jobs. I'm so mad because I lost my money on that. Ugh. So that's the first thing. Second thing, so a numpad usually has 2 modes. It gives you numbers if numlock is on, and gives you stuff like home, end, page up, page down, and so on when numlock is off. So on external numpads, that can also be fucked as well. So I had a different external numpad, a wired one, that costs like, I don't know, $6. So it's a very shitty one, but still somehow it sounded better, much better. So the thing with that was, if I had numlock off, then it sent both keys at once. So I had to have my actual numpad on and the actually fake numpad, numlock key on that numpad. So I had to have them in the same category on for the keys to be processed correctly. So that can happen as well. And all of this is like amounting to an annoyance. And to add to that, let's go to the docs and search for list of keys. Very useful page, by the way. If we scroll down, we see that starting from numlock and ending at numpad enter, these keys are called the same in both modes. So you won't be able to make them do different things depending on the mode. Okay, that's not that big of a deal, although I would like to, but okay. These keys, however, are different keys. They are called different names depending on your numlock state. So you can press numlock to essentially switch your hotkeys to a different set of them, but you actually have to specify them, obviously. So maybe your numpad can only actually produce these, and when numlock is on, instead of producing numpad numbers, it just produces the numbers themselves. That can happen, and very annoying for an auto hotkey user. Or maybe it's the opposite, and it can't produce these ones. So that can also be accounted for. How do you know? Well, at least here, you can return a product that you didn't like for any reason at all within 14 days. But once again, for some reason that didn't work for me. So yeah, what if you don't care about modality and want your keys to always do the same thing, where it doesn't matter what numlock state you have? Well, first of all, you could declare this thing, set numlock state, and then I think you specify never. Let's actually check that just to be sure, because I could be wrong on that. So let's search for set numlock state. Oh, I was wrong, yeah. So you can either specify always on or always off depending on your numpad and how it works. Or a different way, which is less readable in my opinion. So here we have the names of the keys, and because we use names, these will only work when your numlock is on. But if you go here once again, right? This is and actually press your numpad keys, you will see this column which will have SC keys. The cool thing about SC keys is that they mean the same physical key. It may be called differently depending on some mode, but the SC key will mean that same key no matter the mode. So you can use SC keys as your hotkeys to mean this key no matter the numlock state. So these are the ways that you can use a numpad to have some sort of specific functionality. You know what I would love? I would love a 75 keyboard. Okay, so imagine basically you remove the arrow keys, you remove the 6 keys of insert, delete, home, and so on. You remove the print screen, scrolls, lock, and pause. Escape and F1 to F12 stay, and there's a numpad on the left. That would be my perfect keyboard for sure. So if you agree or don't, because it's a wild take, I understand, press a like, type some comments, maybe have a question or a suggestion. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss my content, but most importantly, stay fresh, cheesebags, and don't get sick. Goodbye!